We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast.
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. We're both in the same place, so it's same place. Time. I did it. We have zero plan. We have zero plan.
And we possibly wasted all of our good material already.
I know. We were very lively earlier, and we were saying stuff, and it was great.
Yeah. We went to Cub.
We went to Cub Foods, the grocery chain.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah, owned by Jerry's Foods.
As far as trips to Cub go, we killed it.
Yeah, I can think of two things that were somewhat humorous that were said in that store.
I can think of 2 trips to Cub.
You can think of 2 trips to Cub.
Total.
Okay, I'm assuming this most recent trip is one of them.
Oh, 3.
So you okay, what's your other trip to Cub then?
Shoot, now I have to actually come up with one.
Oh, so you didn't. Okay.
No, I do, it's stupid because I do know one, specific trip to Cub, only because I had $40 in my pocket, and so, okay, some people that, I had done a thing, so some people, owed me, partial payment for, it was a thing I did for our Renaissance
You're
trip.
being suspiciously vague about this.
No, well, okay, so I had...
I was in a seedy area, I did a thing.
So the other reason I'm being,
they had to go to the ATM to be able to pay me.
The only reason I'm being slightly vague about it is because to tell the whole point of why I had $40 in my pocket. Basically, I bought a bunch of stuff for my Renaissance troupe, and so people were giving me money to pay their portion of it. So 2 people had given me $20 each, and I had it in my pocket. We had a rehearsal, and then I was going home, and I stopped at a Cub, and I had to pull something out of my pocket, and I lost the money. Fell out of my pocket unknowingly, and I left. So hopefully somebody who needed it got it. But
so
I do remember
it was just some loose cash. You mean that just fell out?
It was just $40 of cash sitting in my pocket that was then no longer sitting in my pocket.
$40 is a good find.
Yeah, $40 is a great find.
Yeah.
I found a bank envelope on the ground next to my car once with, I think, $80 in it.
Oh, nice.
That was a fun find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would venture to guess that I've seen a $5 bill somewhere. I found a 5. I don't even know if I found a 10 or anything above a $5 bill just lying around.
Have you found multiple 5s?
Not at once that I can recall.
Right.
But I think I would have remembered that. Yeah, my cash happening upon is not very good. I mean, unless you count where, you have some cash in a winter coat pocket and then it's put away from the season. Then
that's always a fun find.
Yeah, you put it back on next winter and you're like, oh, sweet, $5.
Speaking of finding something in a pocket, right? So,
I'm not going to search your pockets.
No. So
this is what I wanted to talk to you about today.
I'm staying at my parents' house. And do you remember that blue striped suit that I used to wear? It was my dad's old suit from the 80s, and I used to wear it for any occasion I could find.
Yeah.
Any reason I could find to wear it, I would wear it.
Yeah. You even made up a bris mitzvah, you just went to events that didn't exist.
Yeah, I made up events.
Bris mitzvah.
A bris mitzvah.
That's a lot. It's a long event.
A bris mitzvah.
Bris mitzvah. It's a long.
What is that? 13 years.
Yeah, it's a 13-year event. Yeah. You wore the hell out of that suit.
Yeah. A lot of things got worn out. So I'm staying at my parents' house right now, and that suit, for whatever reason, that suit is just laying in a pile on top of a desk up in the upstairs of my parents' house.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, funny. I grabbed it, and I'm like, oh, this funny suit, and I tried the coat on and just see how it fit.
I mean, you know what I mean? Is your parents were trying on clothes.
That suit would not fit my dad anymore.
But I didn't say it was your dad.
Anyways, so to actually get through this story at some point.
This was at Cub, right?
Yep. This is my 3rd trip.
Okay.
So I was just I grabbed the vest and I moved it, and I felt something in the vest pocket. So I'm like, what the hell would be in this pocket? I'm trying to think, who the hell wore this last? And I pull it out, and it's 2 tickets to First Avenue for this Halloween party that Iman and I went to. And then I had to think for a second, like, what the hell did I wear? I'm like, I don't remember wearing this suit to that Halloween party. And then I remembered Iman wore that suit to that Halloween party because she went as a pimp character that she made up called Snickerfoot. So I'm just like, oh my God. So I pulled him out from 2008 is when we went to that.
Is that the one I met up with you guys at?
Maybe?
Because I went to something at First Ave that you guys were at. It was like Rick Astley was like the MC or whatever.
I don't remember that at all.
I was in the British, the Keystone Cop costume when I was directing traffic.
It must have been because that was the only Halloween party I ever went through there.
Yeah, because that was that time.
Oh, awesome.
That was that year.
So yeah,
I think.
there you go. I forgot you were there.
Good.
Yeah, you were that memorable.
Yeah.
Apparently. But no, yeah, so yeah, it was October 31st. It was Halloween of 2008. So yeah, so I ended up I took a picture of the vest.
Yeah.
And then I took a picture of the vest with the tickets slightly sticking out. Then a picture of just the tickets, and then I sent all that to Iman, and then with the only text I sent her was just Snickerfoot in all caps.
It
was awesome.
Why the picture?
Just a slow reveal. It was a picture of just coming out, and then the full because I wanted it to be like why is he taking a picture of this vest?
Oh, right, but
what's in the pocket?
So when the tickets were like sort of peeking out, could you tell what they were?
You could tell they were tickets.
Okay, but just not to what?
Yeah, not like you might have maybe kind of saw the word Avenue.
So what you basically did was, made her think you were surprising her with tickets to something that you are now not getting her.
Why? She's like, you bought me tickets to something at First Avenue.
You bought me you bought me tickets to a 2008 Halloween party.
Yeah, boom
at First Ave.
Those tickets said $1. Like it was a $1 ticket. Or $5 at the door. I'm like, it was that cheap.
Wow,
too?
I must have done the $5 at the door because I didn't have a ticket ahead of time. Yeah,
Rockefeller over here with his $5. He's breaking a 10.
Well, I found it.
Yeah.
It's the $5 I found.
Okay,
that's the only reason I could afford to go.
Man, this story just went all the way back there.
Yeah. But I really wish. I mean, I'm guessing she already responded to that.
Yeah.
It would have been great if she said more like 2000 and late. So we're eating snacks today. So if you hear some...
Man, I was about to do a good transition of just saying, hello and welcome to High School Famous.
That's good.
8 minutes in.
Hey, if you can't tell...
Oh, yeah, we're munching on snacks.
We're munching on snacks, but also we're in the same place.
Yeah, that would have been
played
clear.
By now.
Yeah.
I forget we have.
I mean, while we're talking, we haven't done any of that yet.
I forget how real time stuff works when applied to recording. That when you add things later on.
I mean, I feel like I constantly have to explain this to you.
I get it. I went to college.
You don't act like you do.
Yeah, I know. Like when I'm pausing for like 30 seconds for a sound clip that you just slip in there and there's no need. Yeah,
I'm all about slipping stuff in.
Slip right in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
For no need, when there's no need.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. Yep. You love... No, there's no need for me to do that, but...
When you least want it is when I most want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to convince you...
That sounded rapey.
I'm going to convince...
I'm so sorry how rapey that sounded.
I'm going to convince you that I want it all the time so that you never go for it.
Yeah. If you don't want it from me, you have to convince me that you totally want it.
Yeah. Reciprocal feelings are a huge turnoff for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just instant, droop.
Yeah. No.
Just...
like you
just super flaccid. Like
super flaccid.
Yeah, like
what is...
Imagine the most flaccid thing.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
So...
I'm glad I did that to you just now. Yeah,
I'm going to eat a chip.
This is going to be the most annoying episode. I'm eating some Reese's.
I have a challenge. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it. Did you already say it?
What did I say?
What you're eating.
I kind of... Yep.
Well, if you didn't hear it... Well, if you did hear it, disregard that. Well, that won't be part of it.
Yeah,
if you
now.
Not that. If you didn't hear what he said he is eating, let's see if you guys can figure it out.
Well, now this is something different.
I know. So I have 1, 2, 3. We're not going to count liquids. We're drinking a soda.
I never do.
I don't know what that means. So I've got 4 different things to eat in front of me. Yep. You have what? 3?
I have 3.
You have 3 different things. One of them may have already been revealed. because you did sort of say what it was.
I did. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, okay, here's the first thing. I'm gonna eat one. Maybe people can guess what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
this will never get response, but I'm gonna go for it anyway.
You know,
first item. Here we go.
Do they have to be specific?
Well, I'd like them to.
Okay, so specific.
Well, okay, not by brand necessarily, but maybe type. You know,
okay,
like this.
Yeah.
Okay, if they just, I guess in this instance, maybe brand would be easier than type. Okay, here's the second thing.
That was not the sound of him chewing it. That was the sound of him getting it out of its encasing. Its bag.
I thought you were laughing at how stupid this is. Okay,
that too.
Here's the second thing. No. You don't do anything.
I'm like, there's snacks in front of me. I want to eat.
I know. I'll get through mine.
Sean,
unless you want to alternate.
Sean, eat your second snack.
Here's my second snack.
That sounds very different from the first one.
It does.
I almost feel like if this was our intention to do this, we should have like purposely recorded the clips of us eating stuff and then put them in.
Oh, I see. That would have been.
But this is live, baby. We're just going for it.
I'll pause for that.
This one's probably not going to make.
This is not going to pick up. I'm gonna. Yeah. Well, if this makes no. If this makes little to no sound, we'll just remove that from one of the possibilities.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
I thought you meant like remove it from the episode.
Oh, no. Here's my third snack. Yeah, that's not really gonna.
Let me describe it.
It's delicious and flavored. Oh, I bet you it's gross.
Were you about to put the second half of that back in the?
I was, because I don't want to like eat the rest on tape here.
Okay.
I bet the sound of like swallowing and stuff is gross for people to hear.
Well, maybe.
All right. Fourth
ASMR, dude.
Fourth thing might also not have a whole lot of noise going on.
I think
it.
This might though, because of what's in it.
Yeah. Fourth snack. Ready? Here we go.
Nope.
No.
I figured what was in it would be a noisier thing, but what's outside of it is killing.
Muffling.
That.
It's muffling it. Well, I may only challenge you to guess the first two then for me.
Yeah.
Because the other two are a little too different. I mean, the first two are hard.
But I challenge you to challenge yourselves and go for all four.
Yeah. I mean, hey, bonus points to you guys if you can get if you can guess any of this, but especially the second two.
All right, so I'll go.
All right, Matt's chomping at the bit.
My first
over here.
item is going to be the item that I kind of mentioned the name of, so if you already heard it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
I just realized it's going to sound very similar to your second item.
Yes. Yeah, I actually similar-ish, we'll say.
Should this whole thing be a part of the process? All right, so the starting of this is going to be me opening the item.
Yeah.
If it picks it up or not. All right. Item number 2. The first one.
No, it doesn't. Well, from here it doesn't.
Similar does. Oh, in my head it does.
Sure. But, afterward
I can the worst.
afterward I can describe some distinct differences, but I'm not going to on the show.
Next episode.
Let's carry this over. Yeah.
All right.
This is a winning bit right here.
I don't know why we're doing this.
We got nothing prepared.
All right, last item.
See, that to me sounds more like the first thing than the second thing. Yeah.
But yet tastes the most different.
Very different.
That was that bit.
All right. Hey, write in your guesses. We'll number them. You can you'll say Sean 1, 2, 3, 4 and put your guesses down, then do Matt 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I only got 3 items because I'm not greedy and I'm not made of $5 bills.
I got 2 smaller things to give more variety, to allow for more variety.
Yeah, but I'm not going to eat all of this in one sitting. So it doesn't matter what size it is.
We don't know.
I clearly just realized that I cannot take this stuff back on the plane with me later.
Yeah, so you gotta.
I have to eat this all by Monday.
Yep. Yeah, that was dumb.
It's Friday night though. I got plenty of time. I'll just leave it at my parents' house.
There are humans there that eat
there are
things.
humans.
Yeah, and if some of this can be fed to dogs. The popcorn can it?
It probably could, but that dog's going to be on a I wouldn't say the dog's going to be on a strict diet, but they brought her to the vet yesterday, and the vet said she's at the perfect weight to make sure she doesn't gain more weight. So they're taking her off her puppy food because that's higher and that's meant to build.
It's got a little bit more stuff in it.
So they just took her off puppy food and stuff. So, but I mean, they give her scraps, but I'm not going to give her a bag of You already said what it was, by the way.
What do you mean? Oh, I did.
I just realized that.
I
You're like, wait, don't say it, even though you blurted it out.
And what's funny is, I mean, we could bleep out if anywhere we accidentally say it.
Yeah, I don't care. Who do we really care?
Because part of me, I mean,
part of it's funny that you just mentioned it.
well, yeah, and it's
slowly throughout the episode. We're gonna reveal what each item is.
So you guys have to listen real close because we're gonna accidentally, maybe intentionally, give away all the answers,
or at least all of mine.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe if someone, if there is anyone, maybe aside from anyone we know, let's say someone we don't know that listens to this actually like sends us something with the snack list, maybe we'll think of something that we can give away to that person.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe we'll think you guys actually care.
Yeah. Because right now I'm not getting that from you.
I'm
guys.
losing hope.
Yep. Yep. Well,
yeah.
I mean,
so
what are you what are you doing here, man?
Hi.
Why the hell are you here?
Well, Jesus, Sean, we've never mentioned it on the podcast before, but tomorrow's our 20-year high school reunion. I hate that I did that voice, by the way.
I do. I mean, we've sort of glossed over, but we I'm not expecting that anyone's very intently keeping track of the dates. We never mentioned a date, or I think we might have said a few weeks from now or a couple weeks from now or something like that.
I'm the worst person sometimes to ask. Well, I'll take that back because I usually remember fucking everything. But for whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure because
but only 2 Cub trips.
Yeah, but I do listen back on the episodes eventually.
Yeah,
or eventually. But I haven't listened to the last. I can't remember how many, like 3 or 4. So I'm a little bit behind. But yeah, and so I don't remember exactly how many times we've mentioned it.
I mean, not to me. I don't think much. But again,
not a ton. But it's definitely come up.
Yeah, but again, I'm not expecting that anyone who maybe regularly listens to us is even paying attention to the fact that we've mentioned it at all.
Right. I don't know why this just popped into my head. This is super off topic. This situation right now, for whatever reason, because we very rarely record in person.
Yes.
I just realized, have you been watching that? Has it been recording you? Because you just plugged your microphone.
No. It was plugged in.
Oh, you bumped it?
No. It
just wasn't in all the way.
It looked like it wasn't in quite all the way, but no, I've been.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been.
just hear you go click and put your. I'm like, oh shit.
That would have been pretty awesome.
It's been a real weird one-sided conversation I've been having with myself.
No, but yeah, something popped in your head.
So yeah, just as we're like sitting here talking, because we don't record in person super often, the thought of just like way back in the day when we would just like hit record on a tape and just record dumb shit we were like talking about or saying. That's what this That's what this suddenly just felt like to me, and I was just like, "Oh man, we were almost like podcasting before podcasting was a thing, but nobody heard it but us."
Yeah,
I'm just like, "Oh, that's super what this is right now."
I'm sure we
should be in a tent. I mean, we're in a she shed, so it's kind of like being in a tent.
Did you figure out you're home?
Oh,
do you
no,
figure
I forgot
out if you
about
owe
that.
me $20 or not?
I forgot about that. I have to go downstairs in my parents' dungeon and see if it's a basement.
Okay. They remodeled. It's a dungeon now.
They added more spikes.
They're prisoners.
They just leave the heat. They leave the dryer running with the door open, so it's really humid and hot down there.
The dryer
all the time.
can't run with the door open.
Put a little thing in there to hold the button in,
so it triggers that it's closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the older dryers that you just have to like push a little button thing. Do you ever like remember like older washing machines, top load washing machines? Like all it had was like a little spike that would push down into a hole and push down the button that would say the door was closed. That's what ours was. So it had it just had a little like piece of plastic that stuck out.
Sure.
And that went into a hole where there was a button.
Sure.
That would, if it was pressed.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it would activate, the washer would run.
Yes.
Don't cut me off. You could just either stick your finger in there or like put a screwdriver or something in there, and you could just wash your clothes with the door open.
When you get to curious age,
it's not that big of a hole, Sean.
Well, I mean, everyone's different.
I am an adequate man. I will not be insulted
That's
by the likes of you.
That's what my mom always said about me growing up.
You're adequate.
Don't you worry.
Some girls.
That's a really weird thing for your mom to say. Don't you worry. Don't worry.
Don't worry. You're
Don't
adequate.
worry. You are adequate. What? Mom.
Your father's was adequate. Your father's father was adequate.
Why are you talking about them like they're dead?
I don't know.
Your father.
Well, you know.
I mean, your father's alive.
I make assumptions based on whether or not he's still adequate.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
As in, may not be adequate any longer. Not.
Yeah. Or he just has
the past tense does not imply that they're not alive. It's just that they're no longer adequate.
Right. They're either no longer adequate or just haven't been tested in a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No test runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dormant. Dormant volcanoes going on.
Yeah. He's been parked in the garage for a couple of years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Different metaphors entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, now people are picturing a volcano in a garage.
He's just collecting a little dust up on the shelf.
Sure.
You know,
Wait, now it's a dusty shelf?
Let's do some more. Let's do some more. What was another?
Yeah, the train hasn't left the station in a while.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's,
You know, been a while. No sex in a while.
Been put out to pasture. I think that's a different one. I think that's a death one.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's the first thing I thought when you said
what's that
was adequate.
Yeah.
So you're in town for that. I mean, I really don't.
I forgot we were talking about the reunion.
Yes. Well, you know, look where
this is so us right now. Just going off topic and then coming back to it like 10 minutes later. Classic.
Just like us.
This
just
is
like
classic Matt and Sean right here.
If you guys were ever wondering, like, this is pure us. You don't get much more us than this.
This is like raw. This is ripe. Just off the vine us.
Do we want to talk about it's not going to happen, but the proposal of the matching attire for the thing?
Yeah, that would have been fun. What if it comes tomorrow?
It still says awaiting fulfillment. So it's not even like prepared.
I'm awaiting fulfillment.
You are. I
won't be fulfilled until they're here.
The truest statement from an adequate man. I don't think that would be good.
You think it would be really like,
and here's why.
Sad?
Yes, here's why. Maybe you had different feelings about this than I did, but I remember being like
inseparable,
associated.
Like we're still not going to be associated.
No, I know, but how sad. Okay, how sad. Okay, so people.
Sean, we have a fucking podcast together,
right? But just listen. In high school, especially senior year, because we had like every single class except for one, whichever, I forget which one was different. But so anytime someone would see me and you were not there, where's Matt? I would be asked where you are.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I was never asked where Sean.
Okay, I was asked all the time. Where's Matt? Where's Matt?
Apparently,
where's Matt?
People wanted to see me.
I guess so. So I was very much like, hey, I'm a separate dude. Like, I'm my own guy.
My eyes are up here.
I know I'm adequate, but please. You know. So I was just like, we are not the same person. We're not attached at the hip. Like, you know. So
it just so happened that we both signed up for all the exact same classes.
We planned it.
I know.
Yeah. So
because we thought it'd be cool to have a few classes together.
No, I know.
Yeah, and then it ended up we had like every class except social studies together.
So when you first, it was social studies?
I think it was social studies.
So when you first brought up that'd be cool if the t-shirts came and we wore them, I didn't think about all this. It wasn't until like days.
You had an epiphany.
It wasn't until days later, and I was talking. I was talking to someone else. I'm like, wait a second, no, that would be terrible. Like 20 years later, to be like, hey guys, we're coming to this thing in matching outfits. It's
but
like,
here's
how
the thing.
stupid.
You're like, you're going in there with this thought process of, I don't want to have this idea that I'm super associated with Matt in that way. And we literally have a fucking podcast together. We're most likely going to arrive Not necessarily together, but at a very similar time. I mean, we could arrive together because you're going to have to come. Oh, no, you probably don't have to come through my way to get up there. I would assume, 'cause you can probably like hit Highway 10 or some shit.
I don't know.
Oh, no. I mean, well,
I'll just see
either way, there's a potential chance that you'd be coming through my area to head up there. We could very easily arrive together.
Could be. But, I would have you get out, go. I'd wait in the car for about 15 minutes, and then I would go. And we would be coming separately.
Would you honestly do that?
No, I don't know. But, I mean, and again, the people we would see there, who knows? Like,
I don't even know who's going to all necessarily be there.
Well, who's not even that. Who's going to be there? And also, who's going to remember / care that we even have a podcast and would put that together? You know what I'm saying?
They should all know.
They should all know.
Because we blasted on that Facebook page.
We
blasted for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. We blasted all over that page.
Yeah. I mean, we adequately covered.
Yeah. It's lathered.
That was the wrong.
Okay.
That I did. Mine was way more sensual.
I don't know. What do you?
No, I just remembered there was the thingy.
Yes, that thing.
So no, you said something at Cub, and I was like, oh, that's very similar to the thing I wanted to bring up.
Oh, okay. I already forgot what I said and what it's similar to.
Okay.
So this is new.
I texted myself so that I would remember to talk what it was. I definitely didn't remember to talk about it until it just popped into my head earlier.
Well,
which is how you.
That's how you remember things. Work. Yeah.
No, but I would have forgotten to check my text message. So, anyways, I was driving home from work on, I believe it was Wednesday this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. It doesn't really matter. The day is unimportant.
So let's keep hanging on what day it was. Okay.
The date, calm down. The day does not matter.
Okay.
All right. So there was this van on the side of the road that it must have been a moving company. I didn't really see the name of the.
I want someone to describe a vehicle being on the bottom of the road.
There's this vehicle.
Okay.
I didn't describe it as on the top.
No,
of the road,
no, you didn't. You didn't. But it's like, okay.
It could have been in the center of the road.
It could have. But anyway, you can't be on the bottom.
If I would have just said there was a car on the road, where would you have assumed that car was?
Somewhere on the road.
Okay.
Either at the far lane or the middle or the left lane, somewhere in the road.
Oh, so anywhere but the side?
No, and I'm not criticizing your use of words to describe that it's on the side.
But I'm taking offense to it.
All I'm saying is an awesome way to describe something would be to say it was on the bottom of the road. Because what does that mean?
Because there's technically no bottom of the road?
Exactly. Well, there is, but you can't access it. It's connected to the ground.
I mean, you can access it.
It's up against the ground.
You can't access it without destroying.
Yeah, you'd have to dig under the road to get to it. Yeah. So what vehicle would ever be there?
So anyways, there was this van on the side of the road.
Sure.
And it was, basically it was a, I moved my hand a little bit so it's picking up.
Ooh, there's
noise again.
Matt's mic sucks for some reason, and
it's the exact same mic you have, and for whatever reason, it just.
I didn't mean like your choice of microphone stuff. It's just something has gone wrong with it weeks ago or months ago now, and
I think it was kind of always from the very beginning.
Sure. Anyway, so
kind of garbage.
Vehicle or van on the side of the road.
Yeah. So it's some moving company, and they had their slogan on the back. My phone just locked itself. The slogan on the back was, "The only thing we break is a sweat." Right. So I'm like,
okay. They work hard. They don't break your stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna take good care of your stuff.
Yeah,
hire us.
We're gonna sweat all over your stuff.
We'll get it wet. We're gonna get it wet, salty, all that stuff, just the way our customers like it.
Yeah, wet. Oh
but
yeah.
I like. Yeah, I always. Anytime there's a bodily fluid, I always make sure I put salty in there.
Yeah,
I want people to know.
It always is. Okay, go on.
So I thought, hey, it's a moving company. They missed a huge opportunity for a much better slogan.
Okay.
And the slogan should be, "The only thing we bust is a move." Fuck you. You should have liked that way more.
I like it, but I'm wondering.
Come on.
No, I like it. I really like it. But I'm wondering what.
Your face showed that.
I'm just questioning one thing. In regard to moving your stuff from place A to place B, what does busting mean? So
they're not going to break your stuff. So it's still the break or bust situation.
The only thing they bust is
a move.
There are a lot of questions. Does this mean
It is so clear.
It's very clear.
It is incredibly clear. No questions.
No, there could be
I'm
questions.
not taking questions.
Okay. I do like that. That's a good one.
I mean, no, go ahead and ask your questions. It's fine.
Are they? Does this mean they're dancing while they're moving your stuff?
No. It's just a play on.
And does this mean that the entire move, right? The entire move is a bust. Like they just botched the whole thing. This move was a bust because the only thing they busted was a move, and the only thing they're doing is moving your stuff. So the only thing that they're doing is what they're busting.
I take it back. You can't ask me any questions.
Okay. So I do like it more, even though there's lots of questions. I do like it more than the only thing we're breaking is a sweat. Yeah. Okay.
No idea what we were just talking about.
Well, we were just going on about the moving company thing. Like,
okay. Yeah, sorry, we had to pause for a second.
Yeah.
That didn't affect anybody listening, but I had to take a phone call.
It was slightly seamed. I'm not going to call it seamless. You might notice something, but anyway,
There's a gap.
I like it more than
break a sweat.
Then the only thing we're going to break is a sweat.
Yeah.
But it still raises a lot of questions. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I doubt they thought of that, but
God, no.
they thought, I'm sure this came to their mind. The only thing we're going to break is a sweat. And they're like, that's amazing. And they settled on it. No need to think of any other slogans.
I'm fairly confident in saying I may be the only person who's looked at that van and seen that slogan and said, why didn't they do bust a move?
Probably.
Possibly not, because a lot of times you come up with something and then all of a sudden you see it somewhere else. But
chums.
I mean, that just seems like, yeah, no.
Who's that song by? Don't just stand there, bust a move. If you want it, you got it. If you want it, baby, you got it.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. Are you just gonna?
Don't just stand there, bust a move.
No, please go on.
Next day's luncheon. I don't know that.
Next day's lunch.
At some point he says something about lunch and munchin', and you start talking, guys start gawking. Wait, next day's function, high class luncheon. Those are lyrics in that song.
Oh, they're just like, those are lyrics.
Those are lyrics in general. Yeah.
I mean, anything can be considered lyrics.
True. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard that song. I'm surprised I know as much as I do.
I had to just rethink for a second why we were even talking about this.
What's with you today?
Don't know.
You're all out of sorts.
My brain is just going. We just need to go. Just going.
Okay, go.
Let's go.
Okay, go. I use two guys in a truck.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
When you move here,
when I move, well, we've used them a few times. Yeah,
I have never hired a moving company.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, you still have to do they just do all the heavy lifting on the day. Like you still have to actually, you still have to pack it all up. You still to make it quickest for them. I'm still like, I remember moving out of our first house. I loaded so much stuff into the garage the night before. So it was almost everything was in one huge big area piled together in the garage. So all they had, aside from a couple of things I couldn't move out and, couldn't fit through that doorway and stuff, everything was just in the garage. They could just fill that truck up super fast.
And then did they unload it and bring it to whichever, like you tell them that goes here, that goes there, and they'll bring it to certain rooms.
But the smarter thing is to get these, you can order from anywhere, Amazon, or find them in stores, but you can get these stickers, kitchen, living room, bathroom, first level, second level. You can label things so they know, they can just look at it and go, where.
You know what's cheaper?
Doing it yourself.
Fucking marker and just writing kitchen.
On
the box.
It's you're not having to deal with different levels of legibility, and these stickers are brightly colored, and so they're easier to spot than would be like a black Sharpie on a box where there's already black print all on various other spots of the box.
Yep.
Stickers. They're good.
All right.
And they're not expensive.
All right. I'm sorry. I forgot you find $5 bills here and there.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. in coats I already own. So it's money. It's not like it's extra money I'm getting. It's
Sean's
money
just-
I forgot about.
Sean's just out there breaking fives.
Yeah.
Making change.
Yep. What's that? Act like she never seen a 10 before. What's that from?
Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that song. Yeah. Speaking of,
Digital shorts.
I've been doing a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine lately. I think I've dipped into
It's a smart choice.
I think I've dipped into season 3 by now. I feel like I just got into season 3.
I mean, you started out of order, sort of. You watched the first episode. Did you watch just the first episode of the last season so far, or have you watched?
I watched just the first one. And I don't think I even watched the whole thing. I don't remember even watching the whole thing. But yeah, and I hadn't started there. I had just like watched a couple here and there episodes at random before. So the episode 1 of what is the season 8?
Yeah,
is it 8? That wasn't the first episode of the show I had watched. But yeah, it's good.
Great show.
I think I'm trying to figure out who my favorite character is. It might be the captain, Holt.
Yeah,
I mean he's pretty
Holt's
awesome.
pretty great.
Well, yeah. Terry, I feel like he's kind of Terry Crews is someone who kind of maybe plays the same type of guy no matter what he does.
Yeah. He's oddly not typecast in the role you expect him to be typecast in, but he's kind of typecast in this. I mean, I think that's the thing is he's typecast as the unexpected,
like
kind of like emotional big guy.
I feel as though there's 2 types of people that are in like that will be in movies or television shows.
Mm-hmm. Men and women.
No, there's you want to define it in those 2
types.
Harsh?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not okay. I guess I'm more woke than you. But anyway, I thought you liked fluids. Anyway, you're gonna let me drink. You're not gonna save me here.
No.
But there are actors and there are personalities. There are people that will get cast in movies because they're just popular,
right?
And they're just themselves, like in everything they do. They pretty much get hired to be that. Maybe it's like flavor of the month type of a thing, like
Jack Black.
Jack Black. I mean, Jack Black has a little range. He's done stuff,
but I think he has definitely done some more serious or dramatic type roles, but for the most part,
right. Well, I mean,
he's cast in a very specific type of role.
Well, let's just do case in point. We're talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
One of the main cast members is Andy Samberg. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of his stuff, but it seems to be that he pretty much just acts as Andy Samberg in everything he does.
Yeah, I guess.
Adam Sandler is Adam Sandler in everything he does, aside from a couple standout things.
He's done a couple dramatic roles that are pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, so to me, there are actors and then there are personalities. There are people that get cast to pretty much just be themselves and be their style of thing, especially when you have actors that will, actors that will have their own sort of writers come in and tweak a script that exists to have the jokes or the lines be something more along the lines of what they want to say. Mm-hmm. I've heard that happens. And so I have a little bit less like appreciation and respect for the people, the personalities that are cast in movies.
Yeah.
I like actors who can play a role and it's convincing and you get separated from who they are in real life and you believe that you believe that they are that character that they're playing, like a Paul Giamatti or somebody like that.
Or like a Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis is probably like the top level example, right? Yeah. But then you have other, let's say you have someone like I can't think of the dude's name. Dazed and Confused, Lincoln Lawyer,
McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey. In a lot of things, he's sort of McConaughey, especially when like rom-coms and type of stuff like that. But then you see him in something like Dallas Buyers Club.
Well, I think too for him,
or
like,
True Detective.
He really like. I think now later in his career, he's purposely making that like I want to be
taken
very seriously.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually like he's proven. Oh, he is actually a really good actor.
And any actor I'm sure wants that always. Yeah. But in the beginning, you're gonna. especially if you're
gonna
hot,
do
if there's a
porn.
buzz on you or whatever,
Yeah.
you're going to take all the gigs you can get just because it's financial stability, it's steady income, and the more roles you take, the more known you get, and the more people think of you to cast you in other things. So,
like a Jennifer Aniston in Leprechaun, for instance. She was in the first Leprechaun movie.
I know that.
All right, calm down.
But that's an example of just taking what you can get type of a thing. Is that what you're pointing to?
Yeah.
Okay.
You take whatever gig.
I thought you were trying to say like somehow she was typecast.
No, she was typecast as the girl in Leprechaun.
Was she just like the like I'm the one that survives? I don't know. I've never seen.
You know, I think I saw that Leprechaun movie around the time it came out.
Okay.
And that's it. So
that's
I don't
the first one?
recall much of it. Yeah, it was called Leprechaun. Yeah, you can. It's easy to tell it's the first one because it doesn't have a number.
It doesn't have a
following
number.
it. I thought of the like quintessential personality actor.
Okay.
That always played himself in every movie ever. Pauly Shore.
He did.
Yep.
Even
Pauly Shore, 100%.
Even when he did a voice for one of the characters in the Goofy movie.
Yeah, he was.
It's just Pauly Shore, the cartoon.
Yeah,
the
Goofy's
character.
son's friend. Or
yeah,
whatever,
one of his classmates. You know, Pauly Shore definitely, and his light died out fast.
Yeah, he's dead now.
He is not dead, but I mean,
he's career dead now.
Someone like David Spade, too. He's just David Spade and everything.
Yeah, pretty much. David Spade with a slightly different voice, slightly different. I don't know. He's so good in Emperor's New Groove. It is him.
I like that movie.
Emperor's New Groove is so good.
I like that movie, and I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's kind of like Patrick Warburton just steals it though. Like, but he's also sort of personality cast in a way because he really just plays.
He plays a lot of dumb guys.
Yeah.
He plays a dumb guy so well, though.
He does so well at it. Like I would love like
his Tick.
I
played the Tick was so good.
I liked his Tick. I liked obviously his role on Seinfeld. I liked him in Emperor's New Groove. I'm sure there's other cartoons I've heard him do voices in that I can't think of.
Family Guy.
Oh yeah,
he's the cop.
Yeah,
I guess that's not as much.
Little
of a
less of a dumb character. But yeah. But someone like his character in New Groove and then Seinfeld are like one and the same, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, if we really wanted to, we could go on and on about people that are in movies that play the same thing every time, but we don't have to do that. No. But is it entertaining for people?
The dog that played Lassie. I don't know.
There's been more than one. There's been several dogs that played Lassie.
That dog is so typecast. It always plays a dog.
Well, I mean, in today's climate, you can't cast anything but a dog to play a dog.
I suppose.
I mean, that'd be, there'd be internet outrage.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite actor?
I guess nobody that just jumps out at the top of my head of like.
Are you someone that has favorites? Like, this is my favorite movie. This is my favorite TV show. This is
occasionally I'm trying to think of anything that pops out in the top of my head of like, I mean, for a long time, I always I said The Professional is like one of my, I'd say it's like one of my favorites. I guess I don't think I have a thing that's like, this is distinctly my one favorite go-to.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't either. And so I always wonder how someone can just have that.
Yeah.
They can just say, this is my favorite TV show.
Right.
When so many good TV shows, but they're are comedies, there are dramas, there are sci-fi,
right.
So why is this one you were able to state above everything else? This is your one favorite thing.
I think music, maybe that's a little easier to be like, this is hands down my favorite band. Like,
sure.
I love this genre, this genre, this genre. I like these bands. I like all of these bands within all these genres, but this one particular band is like the band that I've seen the most times. I listen to the most. Like, no matter what mood I'm in, I can listen to them, stuff like that. Like that, I can see happening.
Easier. I think that's easier to do.
But yeah, movies. Yeah, I can't. Like, I could possibly pick. Like, I could probably narrow it down to like, this genre, this specific movie in this genre is probably my favorite of this genre, this genre, this genre. But even then, I'd probably be more like I'd probably still have to like narrow it down to like a top 5 or a top 10 of like
Right.
Oh yeah, these are all the movies that yeah. I don't think I can distinctly pick like my favorite actor of all time or my favorite this of all time. Like I could be like, oh, I could tell you who my favorite person who played Doctor Who was, or I can tell you who my favorite actor on this specific show is, or something like that. Narrow it down that way. But yeah, to say this one actor or actress, is actress even really a thing anymore? They're all
I think people still use it, but I think actor is
it's
acceptable.
I think it's the more accepted.
Yeah, I think. I mean, actor. Yeah, I think with a lot of things,
male or female or other.
Right. I think there's a lot of things where that sort of male female.
Yeah, we're trying to kill most of that.
Yeah, you kill it off. Flight attendant versus I mean, when someone would say stewardess, if there was a male, what was that called? Was it
steward?
Would people say male stewardess, or would they just say steward? I don't even know.
I mean, male stewardess is almost as offensive as saying a male nurse. It's just a nurse.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah,
but
right.
Stewardess has more. I guess nurse has less of a.
Nurse doesn't have a distinctive.
Yeah, distinct like sex
male
attached
or female
to
version.
it.
Yeah,
it's a title. It's not a. But yeah, I guess
I'm a nurse.
I mean, what's stewardess? Is stewardess? I mean, it was meant. It's a word to describe that profession,
right?
And that profession at the beginning of time was generally held by women.
I mean, it still largely is.
Yeah, it still largely is. But does that mean the word stewardess is a feminine word referring to a female person? It's just the title for the position. I mean, it was at the time. So a male could just be a stewardess.
I mean, you could say it is because it follows the pattern, like actor versus actress. You could say that when you have that.
I think that's
S
how
at the end, like a lioness is a female lion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a baroness is a female baron.
Yeah, it's that S added to the end of a word. So that's why I'd say a male version of that position would be a steward.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it actually is.
So then now, I mean, since steward is easier to say than flight attendant, maybe they should just all be called stewards.
Yeah. I kind of like it better. It sounds fancier.
Yeah, to be a steward?
Yeah, it sounds like
it sounds like a royal,
yeah.
Or something in the high court or something.
Yeah, I kind of like steward better. Especially if your name is Stuart.
Stuart. I'll be your steward, Stuart.
Like that's
I'm Stuart, you're steward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not flaccid anymore now. It's so good. Like I was like super flaccid earlier.
Hopefully.
I'm like, yeah, but now I'm mildly flaccid.
Like
I'm adequately
like you're not like
yes.
There's no I don't even know what was something about spice. I don't know. Mild versus spicy. Yeah.
No,
good. Good. I'm happy for you.
Is it not enjoyable to like when something is just mildly entertaining to just go to the extreme of describing how excited you are about it?
I don't think I've done that, but it'd be fun.
Wasn't it? I think it was in the movie Basketball, where at the end of the movie, I don't remember what I remember this line from it, but the end of the movie, the team wins because that's how movies end. And there's like, oh my god, like the team won! Oh, this is amazing! And I think it was Bob Costas is in the movie. He just turns to like the other broadcasters, like, "You're excited? Feel these nipples."
I remember that now. I remember him saying that.
So it's just that thing of like, I don't know, it's just mild excitement. Just be like, oh, dude, I am rock hard right now because of that. Like,
that is good. So I showed Leo the big green.
Okay, thank you. Because
we were talking about
jumping into that, saying I showed Leo the movie The Big Green.
Yeah.
That's the
Big Green isn't a nickname I have for something.
No, but I think isn't that the name of that?
It's a soccer movie.
Yeah, but what's in that baseball field? There's like a big green wall.
Yeah, it's the green something. I don't know if that is called the Big Green, but it is green. It's a big giant
wall
high
that's
wall.
Called something, and I don't remember. Listeners, don't look it up because you won't. And go on, Sean. Story.
Don't look it up because you won't. And it's really obvious that all those types of movies have the same beats, right?
Yeah.
And I just never really paid close enough attention to it to even notice or care. But I really just noticed really hard when I was watching this movie.
So hard.
So hard. Leo saw it too.
I noticed rock hard.
I noticed so stiff.
Oh, that was grosser.
You know, there's the super serious team with the super serious coach that only cares about winning and is a jerk. And all the kids that play are super good. The team you're rooting for is the ragtag bunch of kids that don't have like a team.
Yep.
They're not all
underdogs.
There's some girls, there's some boys, there's some young kids, there's some old kids. Oh, and then there's the ones that have the poor parents or the mean parents that don't want to let them play. And then there's the caring coach that's going to go and talk to their parents to convince them. Yeah. And there's always going to be a scene where they get their official uniforms. And then at the big game at the end, there's going to be some type of thing that gets them worried. Yep. Like the star player doesn't show up, or something else happens. Somebody gets injured. Oh, now we're doomed. And then because of some inspirational thing the coach says, they pull it together and they end up winning in the end. And there's always a montage of them getting better, showing various clips of various games where they're just all of a sudden on a winning streak where they were absolutely skillless. Yep. Weeks before.
And also, in every one of those movies, it's always some sort of sports movie.
Yeah. Hockey, soccer, football, baseball.
They always do super illegal maneuvers or moves or something that would never fly in real games.
I don't remember in this one if there was any wacky
Somebody
plays.
Just grabbed the ball and ran
yeah,
with it with their hands.
No, but I don't think there was any wacky out there plays they did to trick the other team. So Mighty Ducks has a lot of that.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, let's list off just out of the top of our heads how many of these movies we know. Mighty Ducks was one of them I remembered.
Right. All three of them probably.
So okay, we got I was about to say the Green Mile. Totally different movie. Totally different movie.
Just as fun. Just as fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just as uplifting and hopeful.
Totally.
And, yeah.
No.
Feel good movie.
Definitely. I mean, prostate grabbing.
Yeah. Same amount.
Yeah. Same amount of prostate grabbing.
Smaller cast in the Green Mile. Same amount of
That's the crazy thing.
Fondling and stuff. So, I mean,
What was the movie called again?
The Big Green.
The Big Green. Okay. Big Green, Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
There was another Little Giants.
Okay. Yep.
Do you remember the movie Ladybugs?
No.
It was a Rodney Dangerfield movie, and I can't remember the name of the kid that was in it. But basically, this kid was a really good soccer player. He got for some reason he couldn't play on his team anymore or whatever. So they ended up dressing him up like a girl so he could play on the girls' soccer team.
Oh, gosh.
And the girls' soccer team just full of a bunch of just weird, oddball girls and stuff. And he was the star player, and then he really liked this one girl on the team, so it was awkward because he was a girl. And but it's the same crap of we suck and then we're great.
Yeah.
So there was that movie. I had more in my head, and now I can't think of them.
It's really, there aren't maybe not as many as we thought, but
yeah. Well, I mean, the movie Heavyweights is similar. It's not a sports movie, but it's got a similar idea.
There's a competition thing right at the end, or
they have a weird thing, and they race go-karts and crap or whatever.
I mean, something like the Sandlot is different.
Yeah, the Sandlot wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't that type of a movie.
You could even argue it to a small degree. There's the soapbox race in the Little Rascals movie. There's the rich kid that has the super fast, well-built car, and then there's the Little Rascals car, which it always won, but now it's been sabotaged.
So it's it's got the same trope in it, but it's not the same exact. It's not the same movie. But
either way, it's the underdogs against the elites.
That is such an outdone or overdone and outplayed movie.
No, I never saw Bad News Bears, but I know that they don't win in the end.
Okay, so
that's a different type
of the decent
thing.
Ones where they actually let
they lose
to show humility in the end and everything. And winning's not everything. And what was all right? So let's name all the movies that are
I think
Angels in the Outfield. does that.
Oh, I think I did see that maybe once.
Shit, there was another one in my head that I can't think of.
Well, what is the message of that movie? Like, living isn't all that's cracked
It's
up
like,
to
yeah,
be?
winning. No, what?
Angels in the outfield. It's ghosts playing, right?
No, the ghosts were assisting the team.
So that
Yeah.
I said, what's the message? Like, you don't have to be alive to have fun? Like, what is...
No, well, in the last game, like the Angels don't help.
Oh, they don't help. But then
Yeah.
the team wins, right?
No, I think
win?
I believe the team loses. Or wait, I might be thinking.
So then
of
the
a
message
different...
is we can't win
No,
without
I
the
think
help
I'm thinking
of
of a
ghosts.
I'm thinking of a completely different movie.
Okay.
Where the team doesn't win at the end. It's
The Sixth
So
Man.
no, Angels in the outfield. I believe they win because the kid makes him believe that the Angels are actually there, so that he and he's like, oh, the Angels are going to help me, but then he just does it on his own.
Oh, so he didn't need the feather the whole time.
Yeah. So
he could
the
always
movie I was
fly.
actually thinking of. I can't recall the title of it, but it's a kid who becomes the owner of the Minnesota Twins.
Oh yeah. I don't know it
Can't
either.
Recall what that movie is called?
The Big Twin. I don't know.
No, it's.
I know it.
yeah.
I can picture it. I can picture it.
Yeah. Somehow the kid is the manager of the Minnesota Twins baseball team, and they lose in the end.
Sure.
Yeah, like the guys like it looks like it's going to be a home run, and it gets caught.
Oh, you know what? Major League. That's another example. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
Ragtag,
Another,
like low on the totem pole team.
It was in my head, and I forgot it too. So
Major League.
Yep.
Major League. I'm sure
Wow.
there's like. I'm thinking of. I was originally thinking of the movies where it's like a bunch of kids. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Big
yeah.
Green, Mighty
Yeah,
Ducks.
I mean
that
they've
kind of
done
stuff.
they've done the adult versions
But
of it. As
yeah,
well,
there's that. I'm sure there are plenty of like even football movies that are like that I haven't watched. A lot
The
of.
Replacements.
Okay.
Like
I
Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman.
like
joint.
To be honest, for the most part, aside from like The Blind Side,
Okay,
I don't think
I saw that.
I don't think I've really seen many football movies where it's like it's centered around football.
Yeah.
Uh,
Isn't? I mean, is what's that damn movie? I Don't Want Your Life movie.
I don't know. I don't want
What
you
is that
alive.
movie? Everybody who's listening to this right now knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Who's
It's
in it?
the-
Can you think of
it's
who's in
the Jason Biggs.
Oh, I
Not
don't
Jason
know.
Biggs. Fucking Dawson's Creek guy.
James Vanderbeek
James Vanderbeek is the main character.
in a football
football.
movie.
Varsity Blues.
Oh,
Varsity Blues.
Okay.
I recall a very specific thing, a stupid joke you made specifically while that movie was playing at your house one day
Okay.
for no reason whatsoever.
We were watching that movie at my
Somebody
house.
was watching it at your house. We weren't. We just
Okay.
happened to I think we happened to walk in. That movie was being
Okay.
watched, and like the quarterback jumped into the back of the truck, and you just went oh, Joe Namath, you're my hero, or something dumb like that.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, that was
Cool.
That was it.
Do
And for whatever reason, that was super funny at the time.
you remember the scene that was cut from that movie? I think it was cut.
No, different movie. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What was that movie? Were they lying on the road?
Yeah, football players all laying in the middle of the road to
Yeah.
build up their courage.
Right.
Can't recall the name of the movie, but definitely I knew exactly what you were talking
It
about.
wasn't Varsity Blues though?
No, it was a different movie that I cannot recall off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I even saw the whole. What was that? What's that one that had Burt Reynolds and then later on Sandler remade it and Burt Reynolds is also in it? The Longest Yard?
Longest Yard, yeah.
Like I remember
Again,
seeing-
I almost said the whole 9 yards for the second time.
Very different
at
movie.
the wrong place.
Does the whole 9 yards have football in it?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so.
no, not at all.
Matthew Perry.
It's it's Matthew
Bruce
Perry,
Willis.
Bruce Willis, Amanda Peet,
Yes, that's who I was just trying to think of.
Michael Clark Duncan,
Don't know who that is.
Natasha Henstridge.
That name's familiar.
Yeah, you'd know her if you saw her. What's his name? Kevin Pollak.
Oh, Kevin Pollak. Yeah. You know who's the main guy in The Big Green? Who's like the cop, but he also helps be like sort of the coach.
I do not recall.
Gutenberg. Is it
Oh,
Steve Gutenberg?
yeah, Gutenberg. Good old
Yeah,
Gutenberg.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what's funny? When I watch movies like that, like if I watch movies like that now, I'll look at the guy and I'll look how like adult they look, right?
Right.
I look how very adult, sort of approaching middle ages they look. And then I'll look them up. I'm like, how old were they when this movie came out? And more often than not now, they're younger than I am now. And I'm
Right.
like, why does that look so much more like adult looking
Right.
than I feel like people we know seem to
I
be?
think
Like if you
I don't know. I feel like it's too like part of it too is like people that we've grown up with for so many years. We just will never see them as like
yeah,
that
so
older figure.
yeah. So do you remember so Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? When's the last time you saw that movie?
When was the 80s?
When was the 80s?
Probably early 90s.
So do you do you remember
I probably do.
Do you remember the guy who played the next door neighbor kid's dad?
Yeah. Yep. I'm picturing him fairly vividly.
Just the way he was dressed and the way he carried
Mhm.
himself and like just the way his hair was.
His little fisherman's hat with all his lures
Yeah.
on it.
I think he was like 31 or something or 32.
Wow. Because he was like balding and everything. Wasn't
Yeah.
He? Yeah.
And I feel like
I forgot because you have a kid. You've been watching all sorts of old
I've been
movies now.
But
Like, my youth.
But I feel like previous generations, it's like 30 was like, oh my God.
You were like,
how I'm an ancient if I'm 30, right?
well, especially if we're going back thousands of years.
Yes.
You were
Like
on your deathbed.
like caveman
30.
era. Yeah.
Real quick, the movie was The Program that they laid in the streets.
No way.
The Program.
It's
1993.
The Program?
Mm-hmm. It was called The Program. I literally Googled football movie player laying in street. The Program came up as the first.
I never would have.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I never would have even been able to conjure up on my own that there was a movie called The Program.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I wouldn't have associated with what I was trying to think of.
Right.
I swore that was Varsity Blues
Mm-hmm.
that did that.
Let me verify. Yes, it is a football
Verifying?
movie.
Verifying.
I just wanted to make sure. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait a
wow.
second. This is a football movie.
93 too?
93, yeah.
Why am I okay? I was way off on that. But yeah, I feel like here's another thing. Here's another reason why I think it you're not.
Sorry, I was reading the
You're nodding?
controversy. So
Okay.
I was confirming that. Yep, about the players laying in
Wow,
the
the Program. Okay. Anyway, for those who don't know what we're talking about,
football program.
there's a movie called The Program where there used to be, before the movie came out, and maybe it was
You want me to read the thing
Nah.
real quick?
it was featured in the trailers where
Yes.
there was a scene where a few members of the team would literally lay themselves down on their backs in the middle of a road. So right on the
Yeah.
dotted line between the two lanes that northbound, southbound, for example, to basically to prove they weren't scared or to build up their courage or whatever it was. And they was like one of them guys just sort of reading a newspaper, just relaxing there. Cars was whizzing by either direction. I believe some people tried it and got hit.
Yep, they cut it because there was a couple people that
Some
attempted
people
it and got injured.
Some people
I
saw
don't
the
know if
trailer.
I don't think anybody got killed, but they got injured.
Yeah, then they got hit by. It's like okay.
I did read this funny little fun. It's an amusing little piece afterwards where it says the only known home video releases with this scene intact are the Hong Kong Laserdisc,
Oh,
published by whatever company.
nice.
Fucking Laserdisc. That's great.
Of course. Oh, but
But yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
but I feel like with some older generations
Mhm.
prior to ours, and maybe even someone slightly before our generation, but there was more of a like desire to be a full blown
Dude,
like adult
yeah.
person.
I feel like for sure, like when you were in your 30s, you were like, I've got I am career, family, like this is
Everything's set.
I am straight up. This is what an adult is. Like,
Yeah. And this
I
is
am
where I want
family
to be.
man, whatever. Yeah.
I feel like there's a way more of sort of sticking to being more of a youthful, I don't know, the way you carry yourself or something now.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's just because we grew up with video games or
I don't know. I think it's just a different mindset. Like it's
because so much like entertainment that's pumped out now is nostalgia driven.
yeah.
It's based on stuff that was invented in the 80s and it's all being remade now.
Yeah.
Or 70s, like Star Wars was.
I think the internet age probably really changed so much of that, because it's like everything to remind us of our youth is at our fingertips. Whereas back in the day, it's like, well, I've grown up and the things of my youth are long gone.
But I feel like,
this is what this is what I'm into now. This is what I like now. And I think it was just, maybe even back then, it was just like, it was that whole thing of like, this is who I need to be. This is what I need to be and stuff. But I think it was just that like, I'm grown and this is what grown people do.
Yeah.
And now, with us, it's just like, we don't have that same like mentality of like, this is what an adult should be, or what, I don't know. It's weird because, I'm trying to remember the point I was trying to make, but I think it was just like, back then too, it's just like the confidence of like, I'm an adult. This is an adult. And I feel like now with us, again, with that whole, like, we can constantly be reminded of things of our youth and stuff. It's like, we don't feel like adults. Like, I've never felt like, oh, I'm an adult. Like, I'm this and everything. It's like, I never feel like I constantly get reminded of like, oh yeah, I'm this old, and like, this is, I should be doing that. Like, I know all this stuff and I should be doing this stuff. And when did this happen? Like, when did I become an adult? Because I don't feel like I'm an adult. I still feel like I'm super fucking immature half the damn time.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I do too. And I'm sitting there going like, gosh, I mean,
I'm copying me.
There are probably a lot of things I should be like way more set with and like prepared for. Like,
I agree. You have a lot of work to do.
I do. It's just different. And I don't, maybe I'll never, I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of even looking similar to just like, I don't feel like I look different than.
Other than your gray streak and the fact that you aren't just sporting a goatee.
I didn't do that all through.
You did it enough. I mean, it was the early 2000s. Goatees were the go-to. That just happened in my head, and I went with it.
Oh, no, you said that.
Yep,
you said it. It's funny. It feels like goatees are a very Midwestern thing. Don't you think? I don't.
They're very Midwestern,
like northern Midwestern.
They're very Midwestern and Disney villain.
Yeah,
I've not done that while you were drinking.
No.
Okay, you're like, no, you're not funny.
No, no. But I've seen. Someone showed me. So, like one of my more recent birthdays. Our friend from someone from high school sent me some
quota.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the reunion earlier.
Yeah, we have to hit 2.
Oh, sorry, but someone had posted, some pictures that they had of me.
Blackmail?
No, but posted. No.
Yeah.
Oh, so no.
Because you didn't pay up.
No, it was no blackmail. You're the one that was like doing seedy stuff that had to find an ATM and whatever. Earlier, it was a story earlier you were saying. It was a Cub visit. Anyway, because people needed to pay you, you said.
How was that seedy at all? I was talking about people.
At the beginning.
You made that seedy.
No, I did when you first told it to. But anyway.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to you.
Yeah, so
we'll play it back.
And I like a couple of the pictures of me, like there's a goatee, and I was like, gosh, look at that. But why did I rock that thing?
Because at the time that was like thing. Like it's I think it was like was it something it was when we were talking to patients last week, and I had mentioned that I would
technically this week.
Oh well, on last episode.
Sure.
Yeah, this week for us. And I was talking about how like we talked about like people who twirl their like mustaches and like, oh, I did that for a while. Nobody told me how stupid it looked. It's that whole thing. It's like it looks stupid, but you don't tell somebody that it looks stupid. But it's like at that time it didn't look stupid because it seemed normal. Even if it looked like, if we look back at it now, we'd be like, yeah, that does look dumb. But at the time it seemed normal.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you can grow facial hair in high school? Fucking rock it then, because nobody can grow facial hair.
And I didn't want to have like a beard. I didn't want to have like a full beard.
Full beards are great. Some
people it makes sense.
Trust. Yeah, no, you're not. You're not insulting me by saying that because I know. If that was a dig at me.
Oh no,
no. Okay, I was gonna say like I know if nobody wants to see me without a beard. It's fine. You know what I look like without a beard.
That's not what I'm
This
getting
is an
at.
improvement.
That's not what I'm getting
That's
at.
what
at
I
all.
thought you were getting at.
No,
but yeah,
no.
I mean, you go back and forth all the time with a beard.
I mean, I do less now, but I mean,
You just don't.
no need to.
Is it because you just don't care? You don't. It's too much of a pain to trim it and all that, or what?
Here's the thing.
We're
and
getting into
this is just me speculating. Maybe
about yourself.
No, about others compared to myself. Maybe
Okay.
I'm wrong, but it seems that for a lot of dudes,
Mm-hmm.
like the natural growth line of facial hair is
Right.
that's a beard. Like here, it's just it's the where hair grows on their face is where a beard is, right?
Okay.
So if you decide I want to have a beard, it means I don't shave anymore and I have a beard and it's all in the right places.
Okay.
Whereas me, if I have a beard, I still have to shave a lot because above and below where a beard is supposed to be, I have hair that grows there. So it's like if I'm going to have to still shave so much, why have a beard? I think it ages me a lot.
Okay.
Especially
because
even before
the gray.
even before the gray, because I feel like my head and face are kind of small, and so a beard like overtakes,
Okay.
you know, and it's not like I feel like it's like wearing a hat that's too big for your head.
Right.
Like a beard on me is like it's just too much. It's like it's more. It's not proportional to the rest of my
Right.
head. So anyway, then add on
Just
the
rock
fact
this fuzz for. That's there's a good line.
Yeah, but then you gotta maintain.
It just
this.
always looks like you're not trying.
Yeah. But then if
But
you
you're like,
try
you know
to,
the effort this takes.
but then if you try to shape it, then it looks like you're trying. But
Well, then you
it's
don't
also a
shape.
really
Short,
weird
you don't
beard.
shape a 5 o'clock shadow. You let a 5 o'clock
No.
shadow be.
Yeah,
But
but
it's got to look like a 5 o'clock shadow.
yeah, but I don't want to.
You don't want to maintain a 5 o'clock shadow.
I don't want to maintain a 5 o'clock shadow.
So to hit on your first thing of like a beard growing in and it's natural, like where it should be.
Sure.
I would say that's less real or less true. Most people still have to trim and shave constantly.
Well, you have to trim your beard if you don't want to have it just be a.
I grow hair all the way up to here, but I constantly shave this down.
Oh, okay.
And I actually have to trim again because I go up to here. So this is all actually a little long. So I have to trim along my neck as well. So I grow hair all down in here, but I trim it. I shave it.
Matt's gesturing toward his neck and his cheekbones.
But I don't see. I very rarely will shave to the skin.
See, I always do.
I just trim it with my normal trimmer, and I just shorten it down, so it still looks a little rough, like it's still growing out. So.
Sure.
But that's all I do. And then I constantly shape my beard because I obviously wear my beard long. So I'm constantly trimming and shaving and cutting my beard as well. So yeah, that growing way up on the cheeks and having to clean that and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much almost anybody with a beard is going to do that if they want to have a decent trimmed looking beard.
Plus, I find it's just hard to keep it even looking. I always am screwing one side up, and I have to just lower it until I fix it.
Until it's just a chin strap.
Yeah, it's like this is not worth it. Like I'm already.
What's weird for me with you, so because you'll do the beard for a little while, and then I'll get very used to the beard, and then all of a sudden, the next time I see you, you're just completely clean shaven, and I'm just like, it's just for whatever reason, it's just it takes me a while to get used to like seeing your face like that again.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're growing a beard out again. And I'm just like, it's just constantly changing. I think it's easier to get used to somebody having a beard than once they shave it off and you're like, oh, your face is weird.
Because for a long time, I pretty steadily had a beard. And even for me, a couple of times when I would get rid of it, I was like, oh, I look weird. Like I looked weird to myself.
You get used to it.
Yeah. Now I'm totally whatever, but.
If your dad were to shave his beard.
Yeah, well, I've never seen that.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've never seen your dad without a beard.
I've only seen a picture where he had just a mustache. Aside from when he's like a kid, obviously.
Right.
As an adult, I've only seen a picture of him with just a mustache.
I'm laughing because for some reason in my head, I imagined you saying, as an adult male.
Oh,
My father as an adult male.
no, but one
I've
of
never-
the running gags is with my dad's side of the family is I tend to look a lot more like my Uncle Frank than my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw that picture of my dad with just a mustache, I was like, oh, like the face shape and stuff, and like I really saw actually a lot of myself in his face then.
Yeah.
There.
Well, there's
But if I looked at him right now, I'm like, I don't see any resemblance between he and I.
There's a small joke too about the fact that because I'm the only redhead and my uncle's a redhead.
Oh.
There's a dumb little.
I told you about the time I was at my uncle's retirement thing, didn't I?
Maybe.
My uncle Frank was in the Coast Guard, and he, I think the highest level there is like admiral or somebody, but my uncle was Grand Master Chief, which is like just below that. And my grandpa was a Grand Master Chief. My cousin Frank, I think, has now reached that level. So the three Franks, all Coast Guard. But anyway, we went out to Maryland for my uncle's retirement a long time ago now. And, there's always that sort of thing like, oh, I look so much like my Uncle Frank and whatever. Right. But they ended up bringing a mic out to like hand out to people if they wanted to say something nice about them. And these were the people handing this around were like people that worked with my uncle for years. And like, I'm sure I've met his kids and obviously know Frankie, my cousin, because he's in the Coast Guard too and all this other stuff. Right. And they went to hand a mic toward me and they're like, and now one of his sons should say something. And I was like, wow, man, really? It's always a funny little inside joke. You should have just you should have
just stood up and this is how I find out.
Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah, I think I forget how old I was. I was in my teens at least, but
yeah, you seem like you'd have been clever enough at that point to do it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I just felt thrown off by the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd have been a fun moment to just.
Yeah. I mean, if I ever feel like it sometime, I can find there's the classic old Coast Guard photo of my uncle, and then I can find some maybe older photo of me and throw them up and I'll post them or something, and people can make their I even once made it my profile picture on something, probably Facebook. Oh, really? And I remember somebody commenting me like, oh, I never knew you were in the Coast Guard. Like they really thought it was a picture of me, even though it was, I mean, it should be clearly been taken in the 70s, right? Like not a modern looking
you used a filter and everything, made it look all vintage.
But I suppose a picture of me would have been, 2001, around there. That's the age I would have been able to be to enlist. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much photographs improved from there to there. I mean,
they
were obviously better, but
yeah, I mean, I would use the word significantly.
Yeah,
adequately.
But I would say, like, say 2001 compared to now, it's like monumental
significantly.
Again.
Yep.
Okay, so no matter what.
Yeah, any distance in time.
You jumped from time and you measure the progress and improvement in photography, and it's significant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean in the 70s.
Okay.
No megapixels.
1895 to 1896.
Oh, yeah, significant I'm sure
improvement.
It was, yeah. When was the
flash bulb invented?
When was the photograph invented?
In the 1800s, I think, if not before that. Yeah. I think 1800s sometime.
Yeah. So,
because aren't there photographs of like the Civil War generals and stuff like that? Yeah. Lincoln.
Yeah.
Aren't there?
I mean, you know what photographs before that time were?
Paintings.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Significant. The photograph was a significant improvement to paintings. Actually, I would not consider that because photographs were not as nice as paintings back then.
No, but. But
they were more accurate.
You said 70s, there were no megapixels.
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because there weren't that many pixels in a digital photograph back then?
Did digital photography exist in the 70s?
I think it actually did. Okay. Was first invented in the 70s. Okay. I think Kodak invented it.
Yeah. Well, they didn't use megapixels at the time.
What is a megapixel? Is it 1 million pixels or is it 1,000?
I mean,
is it 100,000? Is it a?
It's one entire "Make America Great Again" pixel. I know it's not even the right.
No, different letters.
Yep.
Wow, it's so funny that you went there
Okay.
because I was going to say
This is a
something
good
like
transition.
Donald Trump.
Huge.
he likes to brag that his pictures are in megapixels,
Yeah.
but you said something less clever, equally clever.
Probably equally because our minds both went to the same idea-ish
Yeah. I like
to make the same point.
Yeah,
Drive it home.
but you did it first, so I guess I'm like copying you or ripping you off for plagiarizing or
Stop copying me.
yeah. Well, bye.
Bye.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HS Famous Pod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.